In this video, we're going to talk about something that matters a lot as we get older: how to walk safely and confidently. For many people over 60, one unexpected fall can change everything. It's not just about a bruise, it can mean weeks of recovery or even losing a bit of independence. But the good news is, a lot of falls can actually be prevented by making small changes in the way you walk. I'm going to share 6 simple walking habits that physical therapists and aging experts recommend for seniors. These habits don't require special shoes, expensive equipment, or even leaving your house. They're small adjustments that you can start practicing right away, wherever you are. Before we get started, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Drop your city or state in the comments below, and if you have any tips of your own for staying steady on your feet, share those too. You never know who else might benefit from your advice. Point 1. Head position awareness. Let's start with something most people don't think twice about: where your head is when you walk. It might sound too simple to matter, but your head is like the steering wheel of your body. Wherever it goes, your shoulders, back, and hips tend to follow. If you're always looking down at the floor, your posture slowly collapses forward without you even realizing it. Over time, this puts your weight in the wrong place, shifts your balance forward, and makes your steps feel less steady. I understand why many older adults walk with their heads down. You want to see where your feet are going. You don't want to miss a step, trip over a rug, or slip on the sidewalk. It feels safer. But here's the tricky part: constantly looking down actually increases your risk of falling. Your shoulders round, your back curves, and your body leans forward. That posture pulls your center of gravity ahead of you, making it easier to stumble. And when your eyes are glued to the floor, you miss what's coming 10 or 15 feet ahead. That's how a small crack in the sidewalk or a low step can suddenly catch you off guard. So what's the better way? Physical therapists often suggest something called the 20-80 rule. That means 80% of the time, your head and eyes should be looking straight ahead, and only 20% of the time should you glance down with your eyes. Not with your whole head, just your eyes. This way, you stay aware of where you're stepping without sacrificing your posture. Try to keep your gaze 10 to 15 feet in front of you, whether you're walking across your living room, down your driveway, or through the grocery store aisle. It may feel uncomfortable at first because looking down has become a habit. But with a little practice, you'll notice that walking with your head up keeps your body straighter, your steps more balanced, and your confidence higher. Point 2. Arm swing rhythm. Now let's talk about something you may not have thought about in years: your arms. Most of us think walking is all about the legs, but the truth is, your arms play a big role in keeping you balanced. They act like natural stabilizers. Every time your right leg moves forward, your left arm should swing forward too, and the same goes for the other side. It's a built-in rhythm your body learned when you first started walking as a child, and for decades, it's been helping you stay steady without you even noticing. But as we age, that natural arm swing often fades. Sometimes arthritis or stiffness in the shoulders makes it harder to move freely. Other times, habits get in the way, like always carrying a bag, leaning on a cane, or even keeping your hands stuffed in your pockets. And for many older adults, fear plays a big role. When you're nervous about falling, your body instinctively tenses up. Your arms stop moving naturally because you're bracing yourself, almost as if you're preparing for something bad to happen. Unfortunately, that stiffness actually makes it harder to balance. It removes one of your body's built-in tools for stability. The good news is, bringing back your arm swing doesn't take much effort, it just takes awareness. As you walk, let your elbows bend softly, not locked or stiff. Allow your arms to swing naturally at your sides, even if just a little. You don't need big dramatic movements like you're power walking in the park. Gentle, relaxed swings are enough. If one arm feels weaker than the other, that's okay. Even swinging one arm helps more than keeping both still. Some people find it useful to practice in place before heading out for a walk. Stand near a sturdy counter or table, march gently in place, and let your arms move with your steps. You can even count your steps to check if the rhythm feels even on both sides. Over time, this small habit makes a big difference. Your walk feels smoother, your balance steadier, and your body less tense. Point 3. Heel-to-toe walking. Let's shift our focus down to the feet, because how your foot touches the ground makes a big difference in balance and safety. Over the years, many older adults quietly change the way they walk without realizing it. Instead of rolling through each step from heel to toe, they start placing the whole foot down flat or sometimes even landing on their toes. It feels easier or safer in the moment, but it actually increases the risk of stumbling. Here's how walking is supposed to work. Your heel makes contact first, then your weight rolls smoothly across the arch of your foot, and finally, your toes push you forward into the next step. This pattern, heel, roll, toe, acts like a built-in shock absorber. It helps your joints, keeps your body aligned, and allows your stride to stay smooth and steady. When you skip that pattern and start shuffling or stepping flat-footed, your stride shortens, your muscles become less active, and you're more likely to trip over rugs, thresholds, or uneven ground. The tricky part is that most people don't even notice when this change happens. It becomes second nature. But the good news is, you can retrain your body to use the natural heel-to-toe motion again. One simple way is to practice slowly walking across a safe, open space in your home. As you take each step, pay attention to letting your heel touch the floor first, then let the rest of the foot roll forward. Don't exaggerate the movement, just let it flow naturally. Some people like to practice barefoot on a soft surface, like a carpet. This gives your feet extra feedback so you can really feel the roll from heel to toe. At first, it may feel a little awkward, especially if you've been shuffling for years. That's okay. Your body remembers, you just need to remind it. A few minutes of mindful practice each day can make your steps stronger, smoother, and safer. Point 4. Small steps, big safety. Now let's talk about the size of your steps. Many people don't realize that stride length has a direct effect on balance. When we were younger, taking long strides felt natural, even efficient. But as we age, those big steps can quietly work against us. Here's why. When your front foot reaches too far ahead of your body, your center of gravity shifts backward. That tiny shift puts more stress on your hips and knees and leaves you with less control if something unexpected happens, like a slippery floor or a sudden loss of balance. Smaller steps, on the other hand, help keep your body weight centered. They allow your feet to stay under you, where you're strongest and most stable. With shorter strides, your reaction time improves, meaning you can catch yourself faster if you trip or slip. You're also more likely to lift your feet properly, reducing the chance of dragging your toes on rugs or uneven sidewalks. And if you use a cane or walker, small steps make it much easier to move along smoothly without pulling yourself off balance. The best part is, this adjustment is simple to practice. Try walking across a room at your normal pace and count how many steps you take in 10 seconds. Then do it again with slightly smaller, quicker steps. If your number goes up, that's a good sign. It means your steps are shorter, and your weight is staying more centered. You might feel a bit funny at first, like you're taking baby steps, but your body will quickly adjust. Another tip is to practice in familiar spaces where you feel safe, like your hallway or kitchen. Focus on keeping each step light, centered, and steady. Over time, this becomes your new normal, and you'll find that walking feels smoother and more controlled. Remember, this isn't about walking faster or trying to cover more ground. It's about safety and stability. Point 5. Core strength, core confidence. When most people think about balance, they picture strong legs and steady feet. But the truth is, balance starts in the middle of your body, your core. The muscles in your stomach, lower back, and hips are like the foundation of a house. If that foundation is weak, everything above it feels shaky. You might notice yourself leaning on furniture, feeling wobbly when you stand, or tiring quickly after just a short walk. That isn't just your legs, it's often your core quietly losing strength over time. The encouraging part is that you don't need a gym membership or heavy equipment to build a stronger core. In fact, small, simple movements done consistently can make a huge difference. Let me give you an example. Mary, an 82-year-old grandmother, started falling more often around her house. Her daughter got concerned and took her to a physical therapist. Surprisingly, the therapist explained it wasn't Mary's legs causing her problems, it was her weak core. He gave her just 2 tiny exercises: standing near a sturdy chair, lifting 1 foot an inch off the floor for 5 seconds, then switching, and while brushing her teeth, gently pulling her belly in just enough to feel it tighten. That's all. Within weeks, Mary noticed she felt steadier, like her body was finally holding her up again. You can try the same thing. When you're near a counter or table, lift 1 foot slightly off the ground and hold it for a few seconds, then switch. Or, as you move about your day, gently pull your belly button in toward your spine for a few seconds at a time. Nobody will even notice you're doing it, but your muscles will. These little efforts build invisible strength that shows up in your posture, in how steady your steps feel, and in how confident you are moving through your home. Point 6. Floor awareness and transitions. One of the sneakiest causes of falls isn't clutter or big obstacles, it's the small changes in the floor beneath your feet. A rug, a glossy tile, a doorway threshold, or even a shadowy step can all throw you off balance if you're not prepared. As we age, our depth perception and reaction times slow just a little. That's normal, but it means your brain may take a moment longer to register a change underfoot. In that tiny delay, your balance can falter. Take the story of Alan, a 78-year-old who considered himself careful and steady. One afternoon, he almost fell in his kitchen. The floor had just been cleaned and looked fine, but it was slippery. He told me it caught him completely by surprise. His feet were already moving before his brain realized the surface was slick. After that, Alan began a new habit. Every time he walked into a different room, he'd quietly say out loud what kind of floor he was stepping on: tile, carpet, wood. It sounded silly at first, but he swore it gave his body just enough warning to adjust. He hasn't had a close call since. You can try this yourself. As you move from one room to another, label the surface in your head or even softly under your breath. Step down. Rug. Tile. That tiny reminder helps your brain and body work together to prepare. Also, be extra cautious on shiny floors. They may look clean, but reflections and glare can trick your eyes, making it harder to judge depth. And if you wear bifocals, take special care when stepping off curbs or stairs. The lens change can distort the floor beneath you. Another simple trick is to pause for just 1 extra second when moving from a bright space into a dim hallway or stepping from sunlight into shade. That pause allows your eyes to adjust before you keep moving. It may not sound like much, but it can be the difference between a steady step and a stumble. By paying attention to the ground beneath you and giving your brain a moment to catch up, you protect yourself from unnecessary risks. Point 7. Using support wisely, not constantly. A lot of older adults rely on walls, furniture, or even holding their breath as support while moving around the house. Others resist using canes or walkers because they feel it makes them look weak. But here's the truth: using support wisely can actually protect your independence, not take it away. Think of support like a safety net. It's not there to replace your walking, it's there to give you the confidence to keep moving without fear. The key is balance. Don't over-rely on support, but don't ignore it when it can help. For example, if you feel unsteady when getting out of bed, place a sturdy chair nearby and use it for balance as you stand. In the hallway, keep a clear path so you don't need to grab furniture at random. And when you're outdoors, a cane or walker can be the difference between staying active or staying stuck at home. The important part is learning how to use support correctly. A cane should be held on the opposite side of your weaker leg, so it naturally balances your stride. A walker should move forward with small steps, not be pushed too far ahead. If you're unsure, a physical therapist can show you the proper way in just 1 or 2 sessions. Remember, tools like these don't take away your strength, they give you freedom. They help you keep walking with confidence instead of avoiding movement out of fear. And even at home, having support close by, like railings in the bathroom, or non-slip mats near the sink, can give you peace of mind. So now we've covered 7 habits that can truly change the way you move through your day. Each one may seem small on its own, but together, they add up to a powerful shift in your safety, balance, and confidence. First, you learned how head position guides your whole body. Then, the role of arm swing as a natural stabilizer. We looked at the importance of heel-to-toe walking, and how smaller steps keep you more in control. You discovered how core strength is the hidden key to steadiness, and how floor awareness keeps you alert to changes underfoot. Finally, we talked about using support wisely, not as a weakness, but as a smart tool that helps you stay independent. What these 7 habits have in common is this: they don't require you to spend money, they don't demand hours of training, and they don't ask you to become someone different. They're simple adjustments you can start practicing today, right where you are. And every time you choose to lift your head, swing your arms, or take a mindful step, you're sending yourself a powerful message: I am still in control of my movement, and I am not done walking forward. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 habits surprised you the most? Which one do you plan to try this week? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your words might give someone else the courage they need. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and pass it on to a friend or family member. You never know who might need a reminder that safer, steadier walking is possible. Thank you for spending this time with me. Remember, your best steps aren't behind you. With awareness, practice, and a little wisdom, they're still right in front of you.